Hello and welcome viewers. You're watching In Depth with your host Kriti Mishra. In a significant move towards electoral reform, the Union Cabinet has approved the proposal to conduct simultaneous elections for the Lok Sabha, state assemblies and local government bodies. This decision follows the recommendation of the high-level committee on One Nation, One Election, chaired by former President Ram Nath Kovind. Here's all you need to know about One Nation, One Election. The high-level committee on simultaneous elections, constituted under the chairmanship of Ram Nath Kovind, former President of India, met the President of India, Draupadi Murmu, and submitted its report. In a step towards simultaneous polls for the Lok Sabha and state assemblies, the Union Cabinet cleared the proposal for One Nation, One Election. Earlier in March, a committee chaired by former President Ram Nath Kovind had submitted its report on One Nation, One Election initiative, which advocates for the alignment of Lok Sabha and Assembly elections. The panel, established in September 2023, reviewed international practices, consulted 39 political parties, economists, and the Election Commission of India. While expressing support for the concept, the committee emphasized the need for a legally sound approach to adjust and synchronize the current electoral schedules. The move to simultaneous elections would be effected in two phases. In the first phase, Lok Sabha and Assembly elections will be aligned, and in the second phase, which will be held within 100 days of the first local body elections, and the second phase will be held within 100 days of the first local body elections, will be covered.
Actually supported the One Nation, One Election initiative. When they interacted with the high-level committee, they gave their inputs in a very succinct manner, with a lot of clarity. Our government believes in creating a consensus on items which affect our democracy, our nation in the long run. And this is a subject, this is a topic which really will strengthen our democracy, will strengthen the center-state relations, will make sure that our country grows at a much faster pace, will remove so many impediments which come in the growth of our country. And we have seen there is a huge emphasis among the youth for having common elections, simultaneous elections, so that the progress of the nation keeps moving on unhindered. And we have seen that kind of support from the youth, from various sections of the society. So over next a few months, we will be creating that consensus, and that's why we have very clearly requested everybody that इसमें discussion करिए, detailed discussion करिए, detailed चर्चा करिए, और जो भी विषय आएंगे उन विषयों को address करके आगे बढ़ेंगे. A clear thought process that for country's growth, for meeting the aspirations of our people, for making sure that we become a developed country by 2047. Whatever needs to be done will be done, and this is one of those major decisions where, as I said, Sarva Sammati se. Sarva Sammati means everybody is on.
The report, comprising 18,626 pages, is an outcome of extensive consultations with stakeholders and experts and research work of 191 days since its constitution on 2nd September 2023. What is meant by simultaneous elections? Simultaneous elections, popularly known as One Nation, One Election, means holding elections to the House of People, that is Lok Sabha, all the state legislative assemblies, and local bodies, that is municipalities and panchayats, together. Were simultaneous elections held in India earlier? Well, conscious efforts were made by central government, the state governments, and political parties on the persuasion of Election Commission of India to prematurely dissolve state legislative assemblies in 7 states of Bihar, Bombay, Madras, Mysore, Punjab, Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal, so that simultaneous elections could be held in 1957. Simultaneous elections were by and large in vogue till the 4th general elections of 1967. With the disruption of the cycle of simultaneous elections thereafter, the country now faces 5 to 6 elections in a year. If municipalities and panchayat elections are also included, the number of elections will increase many-fold. Who chaired the high-level committee and who were the members? Ram Nath Kovind, former President of India, was the chairman. Amit Shah, Union Minister of Home Affairs and Minister of Cooperation, Government of India. Ghulam Nabi Azad, former Leader of Opposition in the Rajya Sabha. N.K. Singh, former Chairman of 15th Finance Commission. Dr. Subhash C. Kashyap, former Secretary General, Lok Sabha. Harish Salve, Senior Advocate. Sanjay Kothari, former Chief Vigilance Commissioner. Arjun Ram Meghwal, Minister of State, Independent Charge, Ministry of Law and Justice, Government of India. And Nitin Chandra, Secretary to the Government of India. What are the recommendations of the committee? The committee recommends amendments to the Constitution to enable simultaneous elections in 2 steps. As the first step, simultaneous elections will be held in the House of People, that is Lok Sabha, and the state legislative assemblies. For this, no ratification by the states will be required for the constitutional amendment. In the second step, elections to the municipalities and panchayats will be synchronized with the House of People and the state legislative assemblies in such a way that municipalities and panchayat elections are held within 100 days of holding elections to the House of People and the state legislative assemblies. This will require ratification by not less than 1/2 of the state. For the purpose of preparation of single electoral roll and electoral photo identity cards for the use in elections to all the 3 tiers of government, amendments in the Constitution of India are recommended to enable Election Commission of India to prepare a single electoral roll and EPIC in consultation with the state election commissions. These amendments will require ratification by not less than 1/2 of the states. In the event of a hung house, no confidence motion or any such event, fresh elections should be held to constitute the new House of the People or State Legislative Assembly for the unexpired term of the House of People. The committee recommends that for meeting logistical requirements, the Election Commission of India will plan and estimate in advance in consultation with the state election commissions and take steps for the deployment of manpower, polling personnel, security forces, EVMs, VVPATs so that free and fair simultaneous elections are held in all the 3 tiers of the government. How many reports or studies were referred to while preparing the HCL report on simultaneous elections in India? Indian Franchise Committee Report 1932, General Election 1957 Report, General Election 1962 Report, Election Commission of India First Annual Report 1983, 170th Report of Law Commission of India 1999, Report of National Commission to Review the Working of Constitution 2002, 255th Law Commission Report 2015, 79th Report of Parliamentary Standing Committee 2015, Working Paper of Niti Aayog 2017, Law Commission of India Draft Report 2018, Atlas by Election Commission of India 2019. What are the mechanisms adopted for receiving feedback from citizens of India? Well, the committee held extensive consultations to understand the views of different stakeholders. 47 political parties submitted their views and suggestions, out of which 32 supported simultaneous elections. Many political parties had extensive discussions with the committee on this matter. In response to a public notice published in newspapers in all the states and union territories, 21,558 responses were received from citizens from all over the country. 80% of respondents supported simultaneous elections. Experts on law such as 4 former Chief Justices of India, 12 former Chief Justices of major high courts, 4 former Chief Election Commissioners of India, 8 State Election Commissioners and Chairman Law Commission of India were invited by the committee for interaction in person. Views of the Election Commission of India were also sought. What international best practices were considered for benchmarking purposes, especially in comparison to developed nations? The committee conducted extensive research and analyzed all the intricate legal, economic, and political issues connected with simultaneous elections. It also examined international best practices for their possible adoption. The committee studied the system of simultaneous elections in countries like South Africa, Sweden, Belgium, Germany, Indonesia, and Philippines. The committee held that considering the uniqueness of its polity, it would be best to develop an appropriate model for India.
कोई भी जब प्रिंसिपल्स डिसाइड होते हैं, अब उन प्रिंसिपल्स को आगे प्रोग्राम्स में कन्वर्ट करना होता है, प्रोग्राम्स को आगे इम्प्लीमेंटेशन में लाना होता है. तो ये जो प्रोसेस है, ये प्रोसेस बहुत ही डिटेल्ड कंसल्टेशन के साथ करें. जो आपने कहा हाई लेवल कमेटी के दौरान भी कंसल्टेशंस हुए थे, यस कंसल्टेशंस हुए, बहुत एक्सटेंसिव हुए, और उसके कारण जो प्रिंसिपल्स डिसाइड हुए, वो प्रिंसिपल्स को आगे इम्प्लीमेंट करना है. उस इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के लिए मान लीजिए कॉमन इलेक्टरल रोल, एक पूरे देश में एक कॉमन इलेक्शन की जो रोल है वो होना चाहिए, वोटर लिस्ट होनी चाहिए. तो वो वोटर लिस्ट राज्य सरकार के सहयोग के से ही बन पाएगी. सेंट्रल इलेक्शन कमीशन और स्टेट इलेक्शन कमीशन दोनों मिलके ही उसको कर पाएंगे ना. तो उसके लिए फिर डिटेल डिस्कशन चाहिए, उसके लिए राज्य सरकारों के साथ चर्चा चाहिए, दोनों कमीशंस के आपस में डिस्कशंस चाहिए. फिर फेजिंग आउट करनी है, तो फेजिंग आउट किस तरह से होगी. फिर लॉ एंड ऑर्डर का जो पुलिस का डिप्लॉयमेंट फोर्स है वो देखना होगा, कितना ईवीएम्स चाहिएगा, कितना उसका कितना प्रोक्योरमेंट करना होगा. ये सारी चीज़ों में बहुत बड़ा डिस्कशन.
Simultaneous polls will spur the development process and social cohesion, deepen the foundations of the democratic rubric, and help realize the aspirations of India, that is, Bharat. Let's deconstruct the concept of one nation, one election for our viewers. What is the need for simultaneous elections? Frequent elections burden the government exchequer with additional expenditure. If the expenditure incurred by political parties is also added, these figures will be even higher. Asynchronous elections cause uncertainty and instability, thwarting supply chains, business investments, and economic growth. Disruption of government machinery due to asynchronous elections causes hardship to citizens. Frequent use of government officials and security forces adversely affect discharge of their duties. Frequent imposition of model code of conduct causes policy paralysis and slows down the pace of developmental programs. Staggered elections induce voters' fatigue and present a significant challenge in ensuring their participation. What are the advantages of one nation, one election? While simultaneous elections ensure ease and convenience to voters, avoid voters' fatigue and facilitate greater voter turnout. Synchronizing elections would result in higher economic growth and stability, as it would enable businesses to take decisions without fear of adverse policy changes. Conducting elections to all three tiers of government together would avoid disruption of supply chains and production cycles due to migrant workers seeking leave of absence to cast their vote. Frequent elections create an atmosphere of uncertainty and impact policy decisions. Holding simultaneous elections would bring enhanced certainty in policy making. Simultaneous elections would reduce financial burden on the government exchequer by avoiding duplication of expenditure on intermittent elections. Adoption of simultaneous elections would result in optimized use of scarce resources and result in increased capital investment and asset creation. Synchronizing electoral calendars would mean availability of more time for governance and ensure unhindered delivery of public services to citizens. Simultaneous elections would reduce the number of election-related offences and dispute and reduce the burden on courts. Simultaneous elections would result in the avoidance of duplication of efforts and saving of time and energy of government officials, political workers, and security forces. Holding of elections once every 5 years would result in mitigation of social disharmony and conflict, which is often observed during elections. The Election Commission of India has consistently supported the idea of simultaneous polls, expressing its stance in various instances, including a 2022 meeting with the 22nd Law Commission. Law Commissions, including the 107th report in 1999 and 22nd Law Commission in 2018, have advocated for the restoration of simultaneous polls. The Parliamentary Standing Committee on Personnel, Public Grievances, Law and Justice in 2015 received support from several parties but faced opposition from others. Implementing simultaneous elections requires constitutional amendments, a two-thirds majority in Parliament, and ratification by at least half of the states. Amendments to key articles including 83, 85(2)(b), 174(2)(b), 356 and 75(3), along with the changes to Representation of Peoples Act 1951 would be required. The Election Commission will also ensure sufficient EVM availability, polling and security staff. Well, viewers, that's all we had for you in this edition. Thanks for watching and stay tuned to Sansad TV. Goodbye for now from my side.
To watch more programs of Sansad TV, subscribe to our YouTube channel and don't forget to like and share them.